Uh, Hi, this is Sridhar. I'm going to discuss about the topic of Bohr's atomic theory in this video. Okay, it is relevant to the atomic structure topic, fundamentals of chemistry. That is fundamentals of chemistry. In this topic, first of all, I have to know about the brief introduction of this Bohr's atomic model. Okay, this was invented by the Niels Bohr in 1913 based on the concepts of Planck's quantum theory. He retained the Rutherford concept that the atom contains positively charged nucleus in the middle. He applied the Planck's quantum theory for electrons. He was taken the concept from the both Rutherford and Planck's quantum theory. He was applied the nucleus concept from the Rutherford model. From Planck's model, he was taken the electron concept. Okay, then based on that, those postulates are the electron in an atom revolves around the nucleus in certain fixed circular paths are called as orbits. Fixed circular paths are called as orbits. The first point is the electron in an atom revolves around the nucleus in a fixed circular paths are called as fixed circular paths are called as orbits or energy levels. Each orbit each orbit associated with the definite amount of energy. Each orbit is associated with the definite amount of energy as long as the electrons revolves around the nucleus in an orbit. It does not radiate or absorb the energy. Hence these orbits are called as stationary orbits or energy levels. Stationary orbits or energy levels. Energy levels. Okay, there are many possible circular orbits around the nucleus in each atom. Each orbit is denoted by small n called as principal quantum number or Bohr's integer. For if n equal to 1, this indicates first orbit or K shell, n equal to 2, second orbit or L shell, n equal to 3, third orbit and M shell, and so on. As the value of n increases, the size of the electron orbit as well as its energy also increases. The electron revolves around the nucleus only in an orbit in which its angular momentum mvr is an integral multiple of nh by 2 pi, that is nh by 2 pi or h by 2 pi, that is where that is mvr is equals to nh by 2 pi, where n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, that indicates first orbit, second orbit, third orbit and fourth orbit, etc., where m is equals to mass of the electron, v is the velocity of the electron, r is the radius of the electron, h is the Planck's constant, n is the principal quantum number. So according to this, the angular momentum of electron is quantized based on the increasing the number of n values. The angular momentum of electron in the particular orbit will be changed. And next one is the electrons jump from lower energetic orbit to higher energetic orbit. Lower energetic orbit to higher energetic orbit. If it absorbs the energy, only the electron jumps from one orbit to another orbit, lower energetic orbit to it absorbs the energy. When the electron jumps from higher energetic orbit to lower energetic orbit, it emits the energy. The energy of the radiation emitted or absorbed is equals to the difference in the energy of the two orbits. Difference in the energy of the two orbits. That is delta E is equals to E2 minus E1, where E1 is equal to energy of the lower orbit, E2 is the energy of the higher orbit. H is here Planck's constant. Mu is the frequency of the radiation. Last one is the electrons keep revolving around the nucleus in the stationary states as the centrifugal force of electron is balanced by the electrostatic attraction forces between the nucleus and electron. Okay, this can be observed in this one. Here by the centrifugal force of the electron, when it is revolves around the nucleus, it is this electron centrifugal force is balancing the electrostatic attraction forces between the nucleus and the electron. Then atom is stable. So these are the postulates of the Bohr's atomic model. And next one is limitations of this Bohr's model. Okay, this theory fails to explain the spectra of multi-electron atoms. And second one is this theory fails to explain the fine spectrum of hydrogen. A spectrum recorded by using high resolving power spectroscope is called as fine spectrum. It contains mainly closely spaced lines. And third one is this theory fails to explain the Zeeman and Stark effects. Okay, Zeeman effect means the splitting of spectral lines in the applied magnetic field is called as Zeeman effect. The splitting of spectral lines in applied electric field is called as Stark effect. And fourth one is Bohr proposed a flat model for an atom, but it is found in that it has three-dimensional existence. Three-dimensional existence. Bohr assumes the definite orbits for revolving electrons. It is against the wave nature of the electron. Bohr's, as per the Bohr's theory, the position and velocity of the electron can be determined accurately and simultaneously. This is the contradiction with the uncertainty principle proposed by the Heisenberg. Heisenberg. Okay, once again I'm repeating, this theory could not explain the spectra of the atoms more than one electrons. This theory does not give any information regarding the distribution and arrangement of electrons in the atom. Okay, this theory could not explain the experimentally observed in a variation in intensity of the spectral lines of the element. Means there is a fine spectrum. Bohr's theory could not account for a fine structure of the spectral lines. Bohr's theory could not explain the Zeeman and Stark effects. According to Bohr's flat model is having for an atom, but it is in three-dimensional existence. Okay, according to Bohr assumes our electron is having particle nature, but it is against to the wave nature of the electron. Okay, thank you.